Shalom to the elect. All praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rechakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. The true Hebrew Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners, who may look like and talk like the other nations, but through the seed line of their father go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and believe on this truth. There's gonna be a quick lesson, just going into the importance of the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, in prophecy, and to see why it's so important. And so I'll start with the prophecy about the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So that mark is the RFID microchip, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you'll need that microchip in order to buy and sell, which is one reason it is such an important prophecy, because it's going to change the way how society is run in a major way based on the prophecy. No man might buy or sell save he get the mark. And so us Akim, I made a lesson on it, must prepare and pray and take heed to these prophecies before the time is here, the very soon time, very soon, where we are going to have to be separated from society for not taking this mark. Lord's will, we're of that number of the elect to not take it, which we might not necessarily be physically separated, but more on a spiritual level, that we can't be buying and selling. So that's one reason it's very important. And so when is the microchip going to be made mandatory? In this time of Jacob's trouble, spoken about in many instances in the Holy Scriptures and prophecy, such as Jeremiah 30, Daniel 12 and 1, 2 Ezra 16, I believe it's around the 70th verse, as well here in Matthew chapter 24, in verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the tribulation is the Jacob's trouble, martial law, famine, persecution of the Hebrew Israelites, the prophets, and the believers, and the time where this MOTB will be made mandatory for buying and selling. Shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, which are the nuclear missiles, are the stars, shall fall from heaven, going to hit Babylon, America, Babylon the Great, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, and the powers of heavens shall be shaken. So it's important. The MOTB is important, and because it's going to change the way society is run. Is a very important prophecy, and three important prophecies, major prophecies, right ahead of us are what? Jacob's trouble, the destruction of Babylon, and the return of Yahweh Shai, and the great to deliver the elect, the great deliverance of the elect. In the chariot or chariots, the so-called UFO or UFOs, beam the elect up from Babylon the Great. Of course, Israelites only, and from all the places we've been scattered of the elect, mainly out of Babylon. And so then the kingdom of heaven. So these are the prophecies that are right at the door. So the MOTB is part of Jacob's trouble, the tribulation of those days. And so during the time of Jacob's trouble, the stars shall fall from heaven, the nuclear missiles are going to hit, which will create what? The lake of fire, the great nuclear destruction, the burning of Babylon, the besom of destruction. This is Revelation 14, which the besom is that wall of fire from the ICBMs that's going to sweep the whole land, as well as the people. But this is Revelation 14 and 9. And so without the MOTB, the destruction can't happen yet, because it's according to prophecy. Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, which that mark is what will be made mandatory, so no man could buy or sell, save he that get the mark, which will be made mandatory in the time of the tribulation of those days, Jacob's trouble, in his forehead. And so this is in Revelation 14, and it finishes in receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So what happens if you get that mark? The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb Yahushai. And so this is going to be at the destruction of Babylon, of America, from what those stars, the stars of heaven, the ICBM nuclear missiles, which it says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. So there's going to be the great burning Babylon destruction. And so the destruction will not happen until the MOTB is made mandatory. So the MOTB goes along with the time of Jacob's trouble. Then, once all the people who are destined for destruction get the MOTB, and the rest of the people serve their fate, and as Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua moves everything along in prophecy, then will those missiles hit, and the elect will be delivered from that destruction, the elect Israelites. As we continue on in Matthew 24 and 30 and 29, I'll start again. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heavens shall be shaken. So the Jacob's trouble, then the missiles. Verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man, who is Yahushai, the Son of the Most High. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. Yahushai is that Lamb. And they shall see the Son of Man, Yahushai, coming in the clouds of heaven, the chariots, with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. And the main place of deliverance is from Babylon the Great, from that nuclear destruction. Which obviously makes fire. And so The MOTB will be mandatory in Jacob's trouble, and it must be implemented before the destruction and before the return of Yahushua. Because what do we read in Revelation 14 and 10? The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh from that nuclear destruction which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb Yahushua. So those who get the MOTB are going to burn in that destruction, and Yahushua will return in the chariots of so-called UFOs. And so now you know why and how the MOTB is such an important prophecy, and why it should be pushed. So that will give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rechakadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone of Will. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.